For now, 4.4 billion individuals actually live in the cities. And as we approach the SDG deadline, that's in the next few years, we'll have an additional 790 million people come into that space. Nairobi is actually approaching 7 million people. So what does that mean for us? I think the question we should be asking us is the pressure that will actually come into the cities as we actually absorb those numbers.
The majority of the infrastructure that is needed to cater for the needs of all those citizens still needs to be built. And here, Kenya, for example, but also other African countries, they can lead by example. They can come up with an infrastructure that is not only efficient, accessible, affordable, but also sustainable. And therefore I'd say, because of also the growth of population in Africa, not only but specifically within the urban areas, there is a huge opportunity to design cities in a more just and in a more sustainable way.
What is the role of professionals, and what strategies can public stakeholders put in place at local level to mitigate floods and displacement of population like what we saw during the recent flooding in the country? I'm confident the stakeholders of Kenya will be amongst the most well-prepared participants. I'm looking forward to welcoming your inputs to the greatest challenges of our times, including adequate housing, climate adaptation, better urban crisis management, localization of the SDG, and also the financing of the implementation of the SDG. And I believe I'm the type of the bottom up, but we also need to top bottom. Top bottom and convergence of ideas in the middle. We would like to see fishes swimming again in the Nairobi River. Do you think we can do it together? And I have done it in Penang. And I've seen it myself. It can be done. But the only thing is that we need commitment from everybody. From the government, from the people, and also from the young people, from the youth. And we also need law and enforcement, at the same time the policy and regulations.
For us to provide housing to Kenyans, we require to have private sector people coming to build houses. When they come to build houses, how do you pay them? Those people. You cannot pay them through tax. Then those people, they sell. But that 3 million Kenyans cannot afford 3 million shillings. More than 92% of Kenyans can't afford. The way that the government has come with that mechanism is through the establishment of the housing fund. That means we pool all our resources together. The highest paid person in Kenya will pay 2,500. You cannot pay more than 2,500. When it is being deducted as your contribution, it is not taxed.
Funding for this solid waste management, it has been left to the private sector. The government also needs to come in place and take up some of the areas where there is public waste that is being produced, like in markets, along our streets and so on and so forth, that do not necessarily have a private entity manning it. The Nakuru municipal manager talk about even the solid waste, that they've covered it so that it's not really a menace in your eye, and you have to really go far to see that waste. But secondly is that you can actually convert, and the main technologies for doing that, to convert solid waste to energy.
Lakini takataka ni fursa nzuri sana. The best opportunity ya kudosika mazee. Sawa. So sababu mji wa Nairobi unaendelea kukua kutoka milioni 4, milioni 5, milioni 6. Hivyo tu ndio takataka itakuwa nyingi. So story na kuzoa ile takataka, kuifanyia kuiboresha ile takataka, hapo kuna business.
Young people, mjitume, claim your spaces. Hakuna mtu atawaita, claim your spaces. Enda pale na useme, why am I left behind?
In line with the resolution of the first public dialogue and in furtherance of the ministerial declaration of the first UN Habitat Assembly, the second public dialogue held on 22nd of May 2023, that is today, notes and observes as follows. Number 1, we support the position taken under the adequate housing draft resolution of bringing human settlements back as the core mandate of UN Habitat. 2, we propose to develop a robust monitoring framework to track, report, and follow up on the resolutions of the public dialogue. We recommend to the Global Stakeholder Forum as follows. Under urban climate action and environmental protection, we commit to work towards strengthened stakeholder partnership in the implementation of the Kenya National Climate Change Action Plan and related instruments, with focus on locally led climate action initiatives that include cleaning and protecting waterways and marine ecosystems, recycling solid waste, urban agriculture, and enhancing greenery in the urban landscape. Part B, under urban crisis recovery, we note the importance of just housing and infrastructure solutions to accelerate the recovery pathways and commit to strengthen stakeholder participation and partnership in the inclusive and just delivery of programs such as Urban Resilience Program, KISIP, KUSP2, Kenya Affordable Housing Program, Just Cities, Nairobi We Want, and so on. C, under the localization of the SDGs and multi-level governance, we appreciate the need to accelerate actions at local level, adopting the principle of bottom-up, top-down, and convergence of ideas, that was the ED's idea, by stimulating adoption of models that promote habitability of human settlements and innovation in service delivery and enhancing monitoring and knowledge exchange through the SDG Forum. Lastly, under the prosperity and finance, we acknowledge that at the heart of prosperity is transparent and accountable leadership and governance. At the heart of sustainable development is humanization. And at the heart of policy is data. And we will endeavor, therefore, to collectively promote an environment of transparent and responsible leadership whose decision-making is based on grounded knowledge and actions that inspire confidence amongst investors. We submit these recommendations to the Global Stakeholder Forum sitting at UN Complex on 3rd and 4th of June 2023.
And one area that I would like to put forward is that not only to have integrated good planning and good basic services in the urban area, but we also need to have the services in the rural area, so that the rural people who are living in the rural area, they don't have to come to the city to get the services.